And we are streaming. Hello everybody and welcome to Tars Confusion for the 18th of February 2022. How are we all doing? We have 5 people in the lobby, 3 people, including myself, queued up. So as soon as we get a 4th, we will get the game started. So hello to Aegon, hello to Rise, hello to Prospero, who's just popped in as well. So that will be game 1. Aegon, Rise, myself, Prospero, good luck all. Hello Aegon. Onwards. How many hands of Mahjong have we played? I'm just trying to work out that 330,000 figure and see whether we can get a Tenho here. I think we're owed one. We might not be, but we might be. Anyway, let us begin. We are sitting north. We have a very terminal heavy hand. And Aegon is immediately off with Yakuhai. I mean, honestly, maybe we just go for... We just force the chancer here. We have the pair of 1s, we have the pair of 9s as well, so... Alright, that makes it slightly less likely, but we'll carry on. I mean, more likely I'd be inclined to try and force this for a Honitsu, but we're up against 2 calls. Alright, second white. And of course, we can always play the 6 pin later if we decide we need to. Okay, Dragon half flush. It was an early 6 pin if it's going to be the full half flush for that. It might just be Dragon only. Not going to take that. I don't really need to push against 3 calls here, and both of them seem like they're going to be smaller hands. So I'm just going to play my own thing here. If we've got the chance to switch this up for Honitsu, maybe we will, but... West isn't my wind. 9 doesn't do a lot. Hi, Rumi. Yeah, I think at this point we're just waiting and seeing what everybody else is up to. That's not massively valuable for me to open it up, even if I were to get to open Chanter. This is not a lot. That is a dragon-only hand, though. So, from that perspective, could be worth doing. Let's cut the West and just... We'll be passive for a bit. See if we can get the development on the other side of it. But that is therefore a dragon-only, Dragon Dora at best. Yeah, dragon only. Which we're fine with. We can wait for better hands. Okay. This qualifies as a better hand. Especially if we can get an early free man. We got an exacting first draw free man, so okay. Prospero is again going to immediately call things. Didn't get the second, thankfully. So now it's going to be a case of can we build up and do we just get rid of the 1-9 go for a Tanyo thing? Super Paul Sanchku is technically on as well, but... don't think that's necessarily the push here, but we'll see. Useful. So now we draw that 8, so we got the Ipeiko, Pinfu, Dora weight down. He doesn't like discarding pairs of things, I've noticed. Or at least he likes to emote a lot. Alright, come on, 8-0. 6 spin's not the worst here. It's not the worst, but it's not especially useful given that we need that for our pair at the moment. So, yeah, well, we'll just discard what we drew. Good draw. Okay. So we have a free-sided or Dora Ipeiko weight. Alright, let's see.
Riichi.
Yeah, it's a Dora 5, so I don't think this is going to come off. We're going to draw it ourselves, therefore we reach. But reach Tampin, Dora. Simo and Ipeiko for Hanneman. How many still got left? We got 5 left. Yeah, 5 outs this early. Got a reasonable shot of it. Also, no, Prospero has no interest in it, so he'll be forced to hold them if he gets them now, but we've gotten the Geshi since we reached, which is probably not the best of things, but oh well. Wrong 2. So it looks as if we're picking up the draw here. Okay, last draw fails, so it's just going to be the 2-5, and I'll just pick up the points for the draw. Unless somebody does something weird. Last discard from Aegon. You're not trying anything weird, are you? Okay.
Tenpai.
Oh, Aegon did want to stay in Tenpai. Did have 2 of my winners, although they were both useful parts of his hand, so okay. I think I had the more valuable threat, but he is dealer, so that is a reason to try and stay in it if you can. Do so safely, so well played. Okay, so reach stick and 1, but still a tight game in East 2. Obviously wasn't following Aegon's hand entirely through that, but he does appear to be getting better at the game. Which is good. I'm not saying it isn't, but, you know. Also, this is subject to analysis later that proves he was flailing about a bit, but, you know. No, he does generally seem to be getting better. So we have a 2-3-4 Sanch cube potentially here, but... Oh, and immediately that backfired on me. I figured with one out, the red was worth keeping over it, but hey. Also, 2 8-pins are gone, so probably going to cut the 9 side of that. Okay, we got the red anyway. So, okay, not entirely punished. I was going to say, it looks as if red's going to have to be a pair, though, but now that's come in, we could potentially now accept it. So cut the 9, cut the 5 as we go down towards our hopefully Shun Sanshku. Prospero doing his thing of culling a suit again here, so one of these two is dodgy. Also unlikely to get a Sanzo from him. In fact, yeah, that confirms he's probably on trying to force a Sozu Honitsu. Drawing that's useful. Not the ideal way around here, but I think this is the way we'll take it. I'll now, of course, draw a 6 and be punished for it, but I think this is still fine. We know 2-man's going to be safe to the advanced hand, so... This isn't great, I'm going to be honest, so I'm going to actually Dharma this for the moment. I'll take the win if it comes off, but this is not ideal. Red hasn't been played at all yet. Yeah, unfortunately that's the trap, because we can't actually progress it with that unless we do something else with it.
Boom.
Okay, rises up, so we're probably out of time for things, but we've got 2 safe tiles against him if we need it.
Riichi.
Okay, aggressive called Riichi. So this is Riichi Sanshku, which is free. Alright, Agen's massively changed the equation on this one. So to call Khan is a problem.
No.
Well, he wasn't punished by Kandora, but that was definitely a problem. Riichi Sanshku will take the lead. Yeah, I can understand. If he had the Honitsu or he had a hand that was basically there, more than understand that attempt, but that's, yeah. Ouch. Okay, we've got 2 Yaku High pairs,
Boom.
and we got an attack to be dealer. So we're going to go for Toy Toy here, with South as a backup.
Boom.
Starfall's here as well, so we currently have Rumi and Starfall queued up. If we get 2 more, we can start a sub game. So feel free to join. Maybe I should have tried to force the Honitsu rather than Toy here. But again, any win to be dealer. Double Yakuhai to be dealer's fine here. I think though the red is going to be closed off, so we're going to get into a... Okay, no, here we go. 1-6 removed. Yeah, I think it's probably better to us to just try and secure a win now against that one advancement. Because now we can call middle Manzu if we need to. Okay, so Tanyo on the dealer side. Makes things awkward, but we could always cut the 1-2 if we needed to get around it, especially with those 4 now cut off. Dealer picks up a cheap Simples. I mean, 1500 to shut down. This could have been a big hand I'm representing here, so brave perhaps, aggressive certainly, but it worked. And as dealer, you don't want to give up big points on a sumo, so. Alright, 3-5 Sandwich Q is a possibility here. Not one I'm going to go massively into, but we'll keep it open for as long as it's reasonable to do so. It's probably not too much. It's probably not reasonable to do it much longer since we've got the pair of them now, but draw 4, it's still useful. Two selves are gone, so no point in holding on to an additional one. Useful. I mean, I guess the only issue is I might be leading myself into a pair weight here with one north gone. Being on the door could be bad, but we'll carry on. Two 4s have disappeared as well, so the 5's getting a bit more isolated. Okay, Ishanten. If we were to draw the 4, I'd probably be inclined to cut the norths here in truth, but... I mean, we could potentially, if we get a 2-man, just go for the Ipeiko weight. Yeah, let's cut norths. I think this is a fair enough reason to go backwards. Drawing 2 pins doesn't really change the equation. 2 now just goes into the Ipeiko, so yeah. 1-2 already played. 2 4s down. Yeah, really we need to just draw a triplet of either 1 or 3 at this stage. I think it looks easiest. Or we could go the Ipeiko that side of things. Pair weight on the thing there would be fine. That makes the 5 really awkward to drop. Gonna assume talent pin, so we'll play the 9 here. In course. Well, we're not throwing Medora into that. is extremely brave from Aegon. But the door is safe if we wanted to try things.
Riichi.
Okay, that's fair. We were going to deal with that anyway, so reaching up was fine in that position. Have given away points though, which is not a good thing. Yeah, might have to review that. I mean, to be fair, we had free door in our hand, so the value was there to push for it. Another option was play the Dora and be E Shanten at that point, so because I think the 6 wasn't necessarily safe. It probably was, but I don't think we had a confirmation of it at any point, so okay, 6, 7, 8. So this is building up nicely. We got Tanyo available. Prospero has gone AFK, so we will briefly pause while we wait for him to come back. So yeah, Sanchki seems unlikely with this hand. I know a lot of our sequences are on high end, but still unlikely. We will restore. Okay. North goes away. So it is probably just Tanya to steal the dealership at this stage. Okay. You can mix call. Dora. Okay, so we can go either of them for just Tanya 1 to steal the dealership. Draw 9, we have Riichi Pinfu 1, which should be better. 6 is obviously the ideal. Gives us the free-sided, wait for it. But yeah, either way, we're just looking at the free-sided weight here, unless we draw an 8, in which case we'll just go for the Riichi Tanyo. 6, I don't think changes the equation very much, so we'll just discard a 6 from our hand. Again, Tanyo, so we'll try and keep the value. So 3, 6, 9, 8, so 8 man. Oh, I played one, might as well play the second. I don't think there's any... Well, there's a marginal chance we could snake this up to Sanchikyu, I suppose, but we probably wouldn't. But it could happen. Rises Ishan 10 at worst.
Pong.
And on that basis, we're actually going to take the Tenpai here.
No.
Yeah, calling the Tenpai is rarely a mistake. But that was a Tenpai indicator from Rise, so yeah, kind of had to move then. We didn't have the time to wait for it, in my opinion. Okay, one man. So we have Dora, we have a single East options. Well, options are likely to cut the Souths at some point soon, but we'll see if we can keep the East for at least one more go round. Okay, not going to do it. We have, again, 345 Sanchikyu, but we probably wouldn't take it because, obviously, Dora. Although Sanchikyu is worth 2, Dora's worth 1, so... We do, however, have an extra pair that we don't particularly need, but South should be safe later in the game if we need to concern ourselves with such things. Okay, that's a good draw. Do you travel often? Not very often. Why? Oh, no, I've never been to Japan. Most of the time, most of the places I go to are either in Europe or they're in the States, obviously, American wife, so... And my brother's in America as well. But no, I am blessed with not a lot of money, so it's usually going to be Europe if I'm going to travel anywhere, or just places in England. Alright, we have too many pairs now, so we'll cut the South. Yeah, we're a bit slow in terms of what I want to do here. I really couldn't. I don't have the... What's the best way to describe this? I'm honestly an amateur player. I really couldn't be a pro at this. Not based on anything you see here. I'm a filthy casual and I don't study the game. Therefore, I could not be a pro. I also lack the mental capacity to do that as well. Alright, we might reach on Medora here if it comes to it, but as we're a dealer, we can get away with such things, hopefully. Although, that actually means we can now get away with not doing that. So, what's the best option here? One pin, and then reach on the second. I'm about to say that opens up Sanchikyu, but it actually doesn't. Ah, again, why would you do such things? Well, we can call if we get a chance. That complicates things a little bit, I think. He's got no... Well, we can play an 8, actually. 8's safe to Hagen. There's our third. Gonna go Dama.
Chi. No.
Dama Mangan. Thank you very much. Pinky symbols too. Yeah, we could have reached and gone for something bigger, but I felt 4-7 was more likely if people were to where I was still in a hand. Because after 1-1-1, it looks as if I'd folded. So, yeah, concern is definitely the player who's reached, not the player who's, you know, potentially got all the value. Anyway, we got a Mahjong on a dealer turn. We nuked the player who was currently in second at the time, so we are doing quite well off of this. So as long as we don't lose massive points here, successful dealer turn. Rise then our closest target and probably the strongest of the three players that we're up against, but he's had a bit of a quiet game really, so he's just waiting to brew something. We've stolen wins from him, I think, a couple of times this game thus far, but yeah, Rise on his day can beat anybody. Same with Prospero in truth, but you know. Rise did win the only cup event that we've ever run. And he's usually there or thereabouts. Unfortunately, he's unlucky. Alright, let's play white now, because otherwise it's going to be a problem if we hold on to it. I wonder if we are going Shi Toitsu here. Maybe King the 2-8 would have been better in those positions, but I haven't fully committed to that yet. Tenth Dan Aegon can beat anyone. Okay, so Prospero has the Easts. We just hit Tempai. 1-2 pair weight.
Riichi.
Okay, we'll go with this. Riichi draw a 1. But on tiles towards the edge, so we'll see. If nothing else, this might cause a fold, get ourselves an extra 4k. It might be win more. We didn't necessarily need to push this, but to have the hand legal, we needed to reach. So let's just see how this goes. And of course, we always have the ability to calm the 8 pin if it comes to it. Okay, Prospero's going to push.
No.
And he's going to be punished for pushing, although not massively so. This is a low value hand, really. Reach 1 door as dealer, 39. Aegon gains a position. And I have a substantial lead now. Okay. South to open. Yeah, the hand's not brilliant, but definitely potential here. We'll probably play East on turn 4, unless we draw a pair right now. If we draw a pair, we've got to consider 7 pairs as a thing, I think. Okay, green was overpass, so that was the temporary thing that the site occasionally does. Yeah, you see, this hand is very awkward. I'm going to cut the 8-9 here. We should cut one of the 8-9s, and I think we'll keep the one we got the pair of for the moment, even though T7s have been played. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be making a... I don't think we're going to get a third repeat here.
Riichi.
Certainly not after that. Okay. So Rise finally has a hand together. So we're going to go safe tile, and see where we are. Yeah. Well, we'll definitely go safe tile there. We know 6-pin's safe as well because of the Aegon discard. I mean, if it's a big hand, it's a problem for us as Vila, but we have picked up a Mangan plus another point here, so should be okay. Okay. Aegon picks up Zank. That undoes our last win. And Aegon is up into second with that discard. That was saved not long ago. He'd only just got to that. But arguably that's going to be better. I know it was a direct hit, and we did lose a good amount of points for that, but it was still a good dealer turn, and I think overall, Rise Sumoing could probably have cost us more, as well as also providing a closer rival. At this stage, we still have an 18k lead, which we probably wouldn't have had Rise of Sumoed, so I am generally okay with that result. This hand, again, is a awkward one towards the edges, but you never know. We could always draw that free man. Could always happen. So Aegon on some kind of Pinzu hand. So we might be playing the 6-pin early here. We shouldn't really be concerning ourselves too much with Aegon here, but if we can avoid giving him extra points, we probably want to do that. Now, of course, we're just going to hold on to this and see if we can get the Ipeco. Rise possibly thinking similar thoughts here. I'm not sure. Middle tiles are useful, Aegon. What can I tell you? Oh, it's got it at 9 earlier. Whoops. Yeah, but it was only possible. Stamp in. Also, stop trying to give details of my hand to the other players, please. Thank you. And it's also W. Not going to take that. That actually is a useful enough draw for us, in truth. Yeah, let's go this way. So we're just looking at trying to get a Ipeco Pinfu potentially out of this. Maybe just Ipeco Nomi. Aegon's still trying to colour suit by the look of it. And hopefully it's starting to run out of time for it. Let's just play the 7 that's in our hand at the moment. Alright, Sumo with Dora while we're not dealer is not a problem for us. It's also quite cheap. It is a problem with the early Dragon Call. It does tend to mean the hands are quite cheap. Which is absolutely fine when you've got a substantial point buffer, which we do right now. Oh, we have a pair of Dora Dragons. This is going to make this awkward. Or amazing. We'll see. The hand's quite close. It's not bad. Do we go for the early force?
Chi.
Yeah, let's go for the early force. This feels like a mistake, but we'll try it anyway.
Pong.
Well, now the reason for the early force is vindicated. Rise is activated because he was forced to discard that. So now it's just a case of, do we draw anything we can pair? And then random 7 so for the victory. Yeah, Prospero overplays 7, so that's trouble. Free So can now also be discarded. So just maximising the tiles we could potentially be winning with, in truth. I don't think Prospero would play a Sanzo here, but you never know. Yeah, Rise is going for a quick hand because he needs to do this. He's got no dealer turns left and he needs to catch points up. He also really doesn't want me to have this hand, I imagine, so that is fair. That helps with the sequencing, means we want to be on a pair of either of these, and that is 2 calls. So Tanyo to try and steal it. I mean, Sanso's just been proven safe. Ah, there's always that chance that somebody will do that for you, but yeah, it's worth us keeping the 7 as a possibility, so alright, we have Tenpai. So 8 So will be victory if we get it. 1 was played 2 turns ago. And it is Chun Dora 4. Second South. There was a chance that it was something like South and whatever to try and steal it, but that would have been very aggressive unless he had the triplet already, and 1 already down. 1 there means it was most likely going to be fine. This is still risky if it is a Tanya, but passes. Should clearly gone into 4-pin. Yeah, I ideally don't want to be in the 8 So weight, but we now know there's 2 of them start there, which is I think the good number here. It's also a possibility Rise needs it if he's going for a Tanyo, so we'll wait and see. Hasn't made any Pinzu particularly, but he's not been interested in my 4s, which suggests he doesn't. Well, called that set. Well, the 7 has ignored my 4s for the most part, so I don't think he's necessarily got anything at that point. Aegon does, though. Does Aegon have an 8 So? Does he have, in fact, a pair of them? That would be a problem.
No.
Well, thanks for the Chundora-san. And I pull off another Mungan. That pretty much solidifies my lead, short of a disaster here. Because both my closest rivals' dealer turns have gone. I just need any win to get past Prospero. At this stage, we have Dora free in our hand here. This could get messy. This could get very messy here. We're going to go 4-2 discard at this early point here. We might have to play the 9. Rise doesn't... Yeah, Rise wants a quick game. Rise still needs 2,000 points, so Rise will want any hand he can get as well. Alright, 7's a good draw. That also means I can potentially still use that second Dora. Might get rid of the 1-2 here, unless we draw a free. Wrong free, of course. Yeah, we'll still get rid of the 1-2, though. So ideally we want an 8 So to connect it. 9 So wouldn't be the worst either, I don't think. That is interesting. So that turns this into pair and double run. So 4-7 Pinzu. Yeah, I think we do this. Yeah, this is getting complicated, but I think this is still fine. Four doesn't change the equation there too much, but it might mean we end up playing this 9 anyway, especially since Rise has been good enough to just play one himself. Okay, forget that plan. We play a 6-0. So yeah, we don't need this value, but we're going to take it if we get a chance. I mean, this is Dora 4. This is already kind of stupid. I mean, yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it. What are the odds of this one? So 8 pin could be played. Nobody should be playing a 9-so against me here. It is kind of stupid I got into a Dora 4 position twice, but having to reach for it's annoying. I would have much preferred to get the 7 and just have a dumber Ipeco, But yeah, we got enough points that we could afford a hit here if it came to it. We'll just go for glory. Oh, there's some definite hands up there now. One of each remaining. So this isn't a good weight. And I've got a lot of turns to navigate to make this work, so we'll see. He's got the Tanyo. Nobody has the Tanyo. Oh, I'm surprised. 8's been played. That's isolating the 9. The 9 is also safe to rise. Aegon is on a single weight for Toy Toy, Dragon South. So that's a Mangan shown. And if he's on anything, he'll keep the 9. He'll have to keep the 9-so if he's on that, which might mean he's out. If Aegon's single tile is the 9-so, yeah. It will be eventually with the way the draws work. He could also be on any random Manzu, which I guess the plan could have been to try and just, you know, take the Honitsu as well. Max value, but you've got to think if he draws the Dora, he's got to keep it, right? Well, Rise gets out of there with the half flush and prevents the disaster. Yeah, I had a second. So yeah, any win will do at this stage. Any win from anybody, pretty much. Oh, okay. I actually don't mind this. We can have a reset. Paracells. This is a much stronger hand. If we get that south early, this is pretty much ideal. Sanchku as a backup plan, I suppose. Chanter Sanchku as well, technically, but we don't need the Chanter. We'll try and close it up anyway. Might be aggressive, but I need to have a monster hand against me to really matter at this stage, so. Yakulus Tempai. you say. Well, that was the risk. Perfect. Just, okay. I'll take the Echo Stem by this time. Yeah, South was generally easier than Sanjiku. But, you know, Sanjiku's are possible as well.
Boom.
Alright, Rice pulling out a small hand. Rice pulling out a hand for victory seems fine as well.
Chi.
Dora 1. I mean, if it's a full Shinitsu, he need the direct hit, but full Shinitsu is the threat, I think. Ha. Well, we're in first hand. First hand things. Yes, this card suggests he's probably not in a Chinitsu, but... So it is a Chinitsu, got it. Oh, he's just reverse psychology me on this one. I mean, I'm fine. Neither's mine, don't worry. I mean, Agen's got Dora 4 showing, so, you know, now there is a genuine thing to be worried about on the table. But... yeah, I can't afford to stay in this, so... Oh, Agen's picked up the thing! I dodged that too, so discard. Shun Dora 4. Mangan. Yeah, I was first hand for Sanjiku only for quite a long while with his hand and just, yeah, gave up at that Dora 4 plus drawing an unsafe tile. Re-indeed. Re-indeed. Well, good game. Good game. Second place secured. Yeah, actually, I've mentioned this earlier in the stream, Agen, but you appeared to be playing quite well. No joke, all seriousness, you seem to be playing quite well. Again, I'm not analysing your hand. I don't know what decisions you're not making. But in terms of actual results and what I saw you doing on the table that I could make sense of, yeah, playing quite well. Yeah, I had the other two Souths, Rise. They weren't coming out of my hand. I was through 10 for Sanjiku only at that point. So it might. I wasn't lying. My hand was quite cheap. Anyway. We have Starfall. We have Mono queued up for the next game. We also have Prospero as well. I will jump in if I need to, but I'm actually happy doing an analysis game for once. So it looks as if we're just going to swap out myself for Starfall at this point. So good luck. Have fun. I will do some analysis behind Agen, and we will see. Yeah, again, I had enough points. The only thing I was really concerned about with Rise's hand was whether or not it was a Chinitsu. But immediately after my debating on that, you discarded, I think, 617 in sequence. So that possibility kind of evaporated. Still didn't want to do it, but yeah. Aegon Carning and getting Carning Dora 4 meant I had to suddenly switch gears because, you know, Southern Hanneman dealing... I think I had enough to even survive a Hanneman to Aegon, technically, but not something you want to be doing if you can avoid it. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break while I feed cats, and then I will go back and do some analysis behind Aegon, and we'll see exactly how much he's improved. So, until then, back in a mo. You are absolutely right, Kyril. He will play deliberately worse just to throw me off. Anyway, we currently only have Lily queued up, so if we do get another pod going, we'll fire that off, and we'll have 2 games on at once. In the meantime, though, let's see if Aegon has finally ascended to 10th Dan. Because I say, he seems to be playing better. There were a couple of deal-ins that were questionable, but again, he seemed to be indicating reasonably high-level hands at that point. Maybe I'll do some proper analysis on that game later. We'll see. I don't like doing analysis on games that I've won, though, if that makes sense, because, you know, my thought process was correct, or at least correct enough that I picked up the win. I much prefer to analyze the games I've lost, or at least if, you know, significant things happen. I mean, since when do we try hard Mahjong here anyway? Alright, let's just get off with this then. So, we're sitting behind Aegon, who is starting dealer for the hand. He has not the best, but again, this is the sort of hand you get rid of the honours, see where you are. Prospero has a pretty fast start with Ton, so pretty good steal of the dealership hand. Starfall's hand looks pretty good up top as well, actually come to that. He's not that far away from anything, although no definite Yakai unless he gets rid of the Souths, which he might do in the course of things. Mono's hand's typical, but Wandora, ways it can go, it just feels like it's going to be slower than the others at the moment. Yeah, Prospero's on full attack. Which again, full attack to become dealer is usually okay. As long as the situation doesn't change, I guess. And he's drawing well as well, which always helps when that situation crops up. Doesn't have the pair, which is the only problem, but single weight for things. Are we allowed to comment on Aegon's plays here? I'm not at the moment. I am, because I assumed, based on what I said at the very initial part of his hand, was this is the sort of hand you get rid of the honours and then see where you are. He has thus far got rid of Tuso, East, 9-man, which I guess 9-man was a terminal at that point, so fine. 7-man. It's not a lot to analyse of Aegon at this stage. But he's 3 calls down and playing suboptimally, unfortunately. That is technically a suboptimal thing because you can still technically get a closed 2 to improve this to be a pair and a 1-3. Now he's settled into this being a sequence and eventually getting rid of the 4-man. While he still has 3 loose honor tiles in his hand, none of which are bonus tiles for him. Anyway, Prospero hits Tenpai on a 3-6. So nothing's bad. It's just, you know. He's up against a very fast calling Prospero, but again, fast calling with that third call, it was a definite indicator it was a cheap hand. We're going to sit behind Aegon here, who has managed to hit a reasonably good Honitsu Chinitsu shot here, in my opinion. Mono has a pair of alien bonus wins, and another Dora besides, actually come to that. So, free Dora from Mono. See how he plays that as it goes. Starfall is the single, so he's got the decision to make of whether he holds it or for a single weight or gets rid of it early. And then Mono's got the decision about whether he calls it. I honestly probably wouldn't in his position, although the temptation definitely there. Not going to lie. But again, he makes the correct move not to take it because it's not a bonus tile for him, and therefore it's going to be something he'd have to work around a lot harder if he were to call. Meanwhile, Aegon should start getting rid of his Sozu here, and does. So, question at this point is, because he's paired nothing else up, does he go full Chinitsu here? 5 pins callable. Again, 4-7, arguably more chances to call that here, but you could make a case for calling the 5 here. Mono does like his little bluffs, and calling Dora free early in the game is usually a good idea. Aegon decides to hold off and wait for the 4-7. Which, again, I understand. There's more 4-7s available, and it isolates for 6 a little bit, but you can still use that with a 7 later down the line. Although, admittingly, one way or another, the 5 is going to close off against the 8s there, because 6, 7, 8, basically. Yeah, I can understand him waiting. Sanso versus 7. I suppose it's similar to something he's already discarded, so which is a good way to not necessarily pretend that. Yeah, I mean, if I'd have had a pair of honor tiles by this point, I'd have probably held off as a little, but at least going for the full Chinitsu here. With the way things are set up here, I'd call what you can and just work around it. Now, though, he has... Oh... Are you for a 10 or are you just not take the win? Oh, he's not reached. Ah, that's why. He's Tenpai, but he's not got a not got a Yaku at the moment. Still, I wouldn't have played that 9 because it's still something you need, and you've got other loose tiles. 7-man, for example. There's only one call against you, and that was only just made, so I'm not sure why you're holding on to a 7-man in truth. The White Dragon's still alive, so you can make a case for that. And now it's much harder to get rid of because you haven't done it up to this point, and you play a 7-man into that. Okay, Agen's not improved. Yeah, Agen is officially not improved, but, you know, he's trying, and we appreciate the effort. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I thought he was for a 10 based on the fact that it wasn't a deal in. That's what my original thought went to, but yeah. I guess, but you and I both know Suji is not really anything. The good news is, at least Agen has a high value hand to back up the decision of trying, which sometimes is something that's missing when you go in for these sorts of hands. Chinitsu, a definite Mangan hand, is always worth at least asking the question if you have no idea of the value. And yeah, he's holding off on 6-man until then. Ishanten. The live white is the problem, I think, here, though. Because, I mean, you can work around it, but live white's a question mark. If he does get the Chinitsu Tenpai, though, he should absolutely go for it. It's a full Hanneman at this stage, even without a reach, so... Yeah, go. He didn't reach, which I'm impressed by, actually. Well, Mono has now got the position where he wants to discard a 3 or a 4. He can discard the 4 safely, though. Oh, we can discard both sides safely, actually, come to that. Alright, Agen reaching on the second discard. If you got a Hanneman, you don't need to reach. But late game, trying to force the other 2 players off to maximize. Yeah, I saw the 2 excitedly go into Prospero's hand, but Prospero's out. That's the thing. I think that 2 would have come out had Agen not reached. It's CG to that. I think that the 2 could have come out at that point. But now, obviously, they're now concerned about the new reach, so it didn't happen. That might have been a situation where Dharmaing the Hanneman might have been advantageous. To be fair, Prospero could easily have played safe regardless. I don't know for sure that he was thinking about Agen with holding the 2, but... But hey, either way, that was a reasonably constructed hand from Agen there, and he is at least keeping himself in contention here. He's only got 2,000 gap. This is a very tight game. Yeah, as I say, it's... I agree, but... If Prospero was... I've seen Prospero attack on these sorts of hands before, but that's knowing the player rather than the situation, I guess. And you're probably correct to say that, in truth. I'm saying that late game, if you've got a hand that with tiles that might come out against the other reach, and you got a Hanneman already, what benefit is there to reaching beyond risking 1,000 points, I guess, in a tight game? I don't know. It wouldn't have been a tight game if either result had happened, in truth, but there's an argument there, but it depends whether you want the 3,000 or you want... well, I say the 3,000. You're only getting 15 at that stage from the draw, so... Nah. Okay, no, don't worry. I am going into random mumblings. Ignore me. He had 6, though. That's the thing. With the concealed Chinitsu. So... early in the game as a statement of intent, sure, but that was... oh well. Anyway. I mean, I'd have probably got rid of a 9 over the 5, but... it's marginal in either direction here. Again, I'm just thinking about trying to force the hand into Tanyo. It might not get there, based on where the weights currently are with things, but... yeah, this is looking reasonable. Ishan 10 might cost him Vidura, but Riichi and Tanyo 1 would... Riichi and Pinfu would be fine as a replacement for 1 Dora. Or Tanyo and Pinfu, anyway. I know what I'm saying occasionally. Not now. I don't think it necessarily was. He played 3, 4, 5 pin from that, and Aegon was waiting on a 2, 8. I can't remember if he played an 8 earlier, but Aegon was definitely on a 2-8 pair weight. And obviously a lot of the middle pins he had gone. So it might have been an argument it was safe to Starfall on that basis. But then, again, Aegon having the pair of 2 pins would have been better positioned to know that. Again, I'd have to look back and just confirm that, but I don't think it necessarily was. Not definitely, anyway. Anyway, I've not really been talking about this. Aegon is still kind of building up to things. I think it's a mistake to isolate Vidura he's done here, but... which is... oh, especially if he's attacking now. Oh, Dora. Well, it's Tenpai. It's ugly, and it's not... it's Yakulus, but it's Tenpai. Is a call of the 5 discarding the Dora enough to scare people off, I suppose? Well, it's not going to scare Mono off, because Tenpai small hands become dealer. We shall see. Aegon does avoid, and he's now back into a legal hand. So, yeah, okay. Aegon needs that final 5-man to come out of Prospero to win, but he's got there. Tenpai. And in a close game like this is starting to matter. Alright. Tries the Rinshan, doesn't get it. Aegon, don't change your weight up here. Your weight is fine. It's not fine at all, but he didn't change his weight up and it was good. Alright. Tenpai. Alright, moving into East 4. 27 is the leader. He has another hand that could potentially go into Itsu, Honitsu territory, but Dora 6 is the complication with that. See how Aegon plays it, though. Mono's hand looks pretty decent. Prospero has basically drawn what Mono would consider a Kokushi chance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, still a way to go. Yeah, so Prospero's on what is unofficially the... what was the hand for the 7 on a tile? 7 pairs. I forget the thing. But it's definitely on a 7 pairs with mostly honor tiles. Or it could go into a Pinzu Honitsu here, actually, quite easily if he wanted to. And I think that might be the pivot point there to go for some form of Chanter. Aegon's possible Itsu is building up. And Aegon did get rid of a 6-pin. Although he has cut the... okay, so he's gone hard on... he's gone definitely for the Honitsu. I'd probably be inclined to play the Dragons first and just get yourself to a hand, given how close the points are. And yeah, cutting the Dora earlier was definitely not advisable until at least you got a bit close to the time. To be fair, it's safe to get rid of it now, especially if you are going for the Honitsu, but this is greed. Yeah. I'm in full agreement here. It's working for him, but that is greedy. Especially if the situation changes and you suddenly need to be on this Friso way down the line. That will be the hard punish. But just looking around, he might have some time. Aegon, you need to do things full measure. If you're going to be greedy, you have to call this. You have to call this 8-man if you are going to be greedy. If you're going to be partially greedy and then bail out of it and then go back to being greedy, all this has done is lost you an opportunity to complete the hand. And sure, you wouldn't have drawn this 5-man had you have called it, but you'd have been... Yeah. I'd have felt better of you for calling that 8 if you'd have done it. Again, yeah, but... Yeah, he should do it now. Yeah, there you go. Calling the 8 for the 9 for the 7-9, Carol. But, yeah. Okay. So Aegon just needs a free man for his possible Itsu. Wow, decision time for Aegon. Aegon has made the wrong decision. Aegon has made the wrong decision. Aegon has continued to make the wrong decision. Ah! Khan Rinshan, why not? Do it. I can understand him not wanting to get rid of the Forso at this point, but... Oh boy. So much regret. Yeah, this could have been awesome. White's pretty good. 3 draws to navigate. I mean, it's not turning everything around. He's currently in second in a tight game. Ugh. At least he got into the cheaper hand. Yeah, he's still very much in the game. It's just... Oh. Aegon has missed 2 Hanuman chances. Well, let's see how his dealer turn navigates. And again, he gets rid of... 1-2 is not a good weight later on in the game. But it's still more useful than an isolated single honor tile that doesn't give you any bonuses. There's still that... You can get rid of it later. You don't have to do it on turn 1. Unless you have a very specific plan in mind. I mean, if he'd have done this with a 1-2 rather than the 1-2 pin rather than the 1-2 so, he'd have completely ruined this hand, but... Yeah. No, agree. But still, 2 chances. The game doesn't give you... In a typical game, you don't get that many Hanuman chances. You can normally expect 1 or 2 chances at least. And it always feels painful not to convert the things. Alright, Aegon is immediately into Reach, and I would take this. Absolutely. Hands down. Early Dora Reach, 1 already discarded, so it's safe. Hands down, take the 6. Yeah. Take the early 6-0, ask the questions. Frostbite immediately playing a Sun so into that. I know he's played 1-2, but that's not a good indicator of anything at that stage. But hey, it sets up the partial... Oh, both sides of a CG trap now, technically. I mean, based on that, how can you say that Aid is on any kind of Sozi weight? I mean, he could be. There's not enough tasks to confirm that, but you know. It's a shame he's going to be reaching 1 unless he can luck into drawing a West. Oh no, 1 West has already been played. So yeah, Eastern 1. Reaching 1, rather. So what's the battle plan against him at the moment? Mono's still got a way to go, but he's building up to Tanyo stuff and things. Prospero Chitoitsu, looks like. Yeah, it's early aggressive reach from Aegon. And he sumos. Reach sumo, 1. And he hits Ura. If he hits gets his hand of him this way round. Not quite. No, I mean, also, just immediately afterwards, Prospero played a Friso, Starfall played a 9-so, so he had a Suji trap set up by other players immediately. And as mentioned, how would you think he's on any kind of thing there? You're in South 1. This hand is awesome. I wouldn't have played Aegon again. Mathematical chances. Get rid of... Oh well. It worked. 2-4-6 shape gotten rid of there. Aegon, you are not going to use most of these honor tiles. Get rid of them. Number tiles useful. Honor tiles usually bad. Aegon has a dream. He does have a dream. I have no idea what that dream is based on 4 tile discarded thus far, but he has a dream. Okay, well, that's 3 pairs, so he can, I suppose, backdoor into calling these. If he gets south, he can call the sequence there as well. No, he's not orphaning this. Surely not. Surely Aegon is not... Wow, I did not realise Mono was that quick. Chitoitsu, though. Chitoitsu's coming up. Yep, there's your honor tile. Okay, fine. When you got Dura tiles, there's nothing wrong with Toy Toy. I mean, if the Dora free ever gets revealed from that Chitoy, it's not the worst. I wouldn't say it's the best either, but even if he called, it would be away from it. South Dora 2 as dealer. Let's not forget. Pretty good. Yeah, ultimately Mono was just far too quick in that hand, but he obviously went around something. He was in a pair weight earlier on and decided to move it on. I didn't work out whether that was an extended pair weight or not, but either way, Mono picks the lead, and that's useful for Aegon. He ends his dealer turn in the lead. Clearly. Alright, Mono has again got a blisteringly fast start. He's Ishan turn on turn 2. Doesn't really change the equation for him very much. 2 north 7. Yeah, again, he doesn't like closed lights. Keeping 4-7, but not 2-4. Yep, absolutely. Also, Chiral, technically that's talking about Aegon's hand while the game is in progress, so I'm going to hide that. I'm going to remove that one. Actually, no, there's a 5-minute delay. What am I talking about? This should be fine. No, ignore that. Ignore that. Can I unhide this message? No, I cannot unhide this message. I don't think. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was very single live game. That's how little attention I'm now. Yeah, no, ignore me. I'm being an idiot. Ugh. I've had a long week. I'm just going to put it like that. I've had a very long week. I completely blanked on this not being a live game. Oh dear. Anyway, Mono, after his turn 2 Ishanten, is now finally hitting off, and he's gone on the white 5 pair weight. I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, I basically was talking about it this morning with people at work. They were complaining that wheelie bins were having races down the street. And I just looked outside and it was nice and sunny. We got that a little later in the day, of course, with just the tail end of it. But no, everything was fine up here, generally speaking. Yep, so Aegon's just playing safety, which is fine. Aegon can still come out of this on top. It's still very possible. There are 2 white dragons still in the wall for Mono to draw. It's unlikely possibly he's going to get rid of his 5 so in his hand, so it's just a case of that. Meanwhile, Starfall's had a bit of a quiet game all round at this stage. Also, where's the 7 showing us up? Oh, okay, Prosperos. Yeah. But Aegon is being passive, which is... It's not the end of the world if Aegon doesn't win this. The problem is, of course, if Mono picks up a big win, which I think is the risk at this stage. And Mono's certainly trying to bluff he's got something. Honestly, he does, really, but... Prospero pulls off the 1,000-point counter. Or rather, the dealer 1,000-point counter actually come to that. Doesn't change too much. It gives us Aegon a bit more breathing space, though. 9,500 in the lead, and this is a very nice opening hand for him, really. Just depends on what he does with this Dora White, in truth. It's actually completely fine now. It's the only one on the table. But this always becomes an issue. You have to either get rid of it very early or you have to commit to it. So we'll see what Aegon does. I've got a feeling he's going to commit to it. Both decisions, by the way, committing or not, are correct depending on situation and circumstances. And, of course, if you have Orvadora as the current leader, you know other people don't have it. No, of course. And maintaining the dealership is the best way to keep winning the game, so, yeah. Hold on, can I just... Relock here. He seriously started with a 3-man! A half flush is a very good hand. A half flush is not worth breaking up a Dora sequence to get. Sorry, I just saw the free man there and thought, did he just build the hand afterward? Oh, oops. Yeah, there we go. Back to life. And he's done it twice! Okay, well, he's drawn 2 dragons here, so now he's going greedy on the Honitsu plan. Alright, I have no comments for what is happening. Just carry on. Maybe. Yeah. Then jump into chat to laugh at you about it. Absolutely. Absolutely, Aegon is messing with me right now. And the fact he's going to win this hand, I'm certain he's going to win this hand. But... oh, what is the reach? It's a 6-9. So... Of course he draws that. Has Adama 1-4. Not a lot of 1-4s remaining, but still. Oh yeah, absolutely. No. This is definitely going to be Aegon's hand somehow. Oh, okay. He didn't get the win, but he did get the 6. The ways of 10th Dan Aegon are not to be understood by mere mortals. Yeah, no, this. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a bigger threat on the table, and eventually a 1-4 could come out, given the number of them that have been played. Anyway, Prospero's on a bit of a dealer rampage at this point, so let's see. Let's see what Aegon's fantastic reel of discards is going to give us now. I'm going to put any money... well, no, I'm going to put no amount of money. No amount of money on this 6-man coming out. Wow, that was actually a normal discard. He learns! Or at least he's registering. Slight backfire, but I still agree with a 9 there. And he got rid of a 7 straight away, so okay. So Prospero going on the offensive, which, yeah, he's got Tanyo here. He's got the single south in his hand, but I imagine he's going to risk that in a few moments. Wow, this is the question, is it? No. No is the answer to that, eh, Kyril? No. Again, you got a 1-2-4, so general theory suggests that the 2-4 is going to be far more useful than the 1-2 because you can extend off of that 4 as well. And actually, had he have done that, he'd have been able to extend this way and just got it. Yeah. More punishment for his 2-3-4. Yeah, that 2-4 Sanchiki's arriving. He's just going to not have it by the time it does. Hatsu would be fine here, I think. That poor red 5. Well, he's got rid of it now. I mean, it's still early enough that I would consider the Hatsu's a reasonable discard at this point. Even with the 5 and the fact you played a 4 earlier. I think this is almost Aegon backfires the hand. And again, the 9-7 is understandable backfire, but everything else since that point has been... okay. I want to give you a 2-3-4 Sanchiku. I don't want it. Well, how about the 2-3-4 Sanchiku? I don't want it. How about this way to a 2-3-4 Sanchiku? Don't want it. So that's actually a correct theoretical discard. 6-9 swap. Also, Mono's doing his usual trick of just 2 bluff calls for his Honitsu and then build it afterwards when everybody's working around it. Which works a lot of the time. Hey, immediate, you see, he made the correct discard and the game is rewarding him, and then he plays a 4-man. Ah! Even when the game is trying to reward him, he fails. What is the pairs doing? Well, Starfall gets it. Well, clearly, definitely folds. Clearly, definitely. Well, Prospero's Dealer Rampage is taking him into the lead. So, south to third Homba. Dora east. 1 in each hand except Mono's. Yeah, I'd say it's about even. If you're not going to discard the east, 9, 7, 1, 3 are about even in terms of discard priority. They seem to have had a lot of... They seem to have been running quite badly. Every time I look, Mono seems to have good hands. Prosperos seem to be building up momentum at this point. And Starfall's been close, playing defensively. Might be being a bit too passive, but again, I've not really been paying that much attention to it. So, might not been. We'll just have to look. Okay, well, this is going okay for Reagan at this stage. He probably is going to be forced to play that east soon, but... But all 3 players are in that same position with the east at the moment, so... So maybe we'll have a triple run on the east from Mono later. Just to get our second one out there. I don't think Mono would play a live Dora East late in the game, though. But, you know, we could dream that everybody's in that weight. Meanwhile, Prosper again, East Shanten. Yep, pair established, so that's fine. Does mean you are committing to getting rid of the East, though. And, yeah, the East is starting to... Starfall's the first to discard the East, so that's fine. I mean, that'd be fine. We could work with that. Technically, the 4 Riichi thing has always been on, so... Ooh, that's Ipeiko. So 2 away for Reagan at this stage. Additional pair established. So Chitoitsu's now on. So reach Chitoitsu Dora on the east, potentially. Yeah, he does. We know that. Does play the east now, though. Not sure the 4's necessarily better, but it's fine. Are there any 9-men out? Not at the moment. 9-pin. He's played 2 of himself, so he can't be on a 9-pin for that Chitoitsu. Mono, I think, is now also Ishanten for Chitoitsu at that point, and is going for it. Oh dear, this would be so much easier if Hagen would just actually go in for the pin through hand now. Although he's going to be what, double, triple for a 10 for this at this point. Nah, just the 3 and the 3. He needs another one, though. Of course! Goes Dama. So this is Ipeiko, Tanyo. Eh. Well, Aegon ends the dealer rampage and takes the lead with this. Secures himself against falling into 3rd place. So this is all coming up Aegon at the moment. South 3. So 24 lead. Another win. He doesn't need to go for this hand necessarily, but if he does get it... Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I've long since said, being lucky is better than being good. At least it's more reliable. The amount of effort you have to put in to be good, but the amount of effort you have to put in to be lucky. But actually, for all that, and as much as I am bragging a little bit on Aegon for how he's been playing this game here, certain aspects of his game are better. He's reading defenses a lot. I don't know whether he's being lucky with this, in truth, or whether this is just my impression of it from behind him. But he also definitely goes on defense too early at times. But his defense seems better. Also, this is the most normal and realist and typical looking discard opening. I mean, I'd probably played the 1 pin over the 8, but it's the most typical discard he's done all game as well, so... Starfall picks up a Chun Dora win. Okay, is this the return of Starfall? Well, he's gained a position, so up to 3rd. Long way to go to get to 2nd, but he is the dealer. Yeah. But it'll take a reasonably safe way to get there, I guess, for a 2,000 point victory. Okay, well, this is an interesting starting hand from Aegon. We'll see what he does. Yeah. Dora on first discard. Which I like. Has Aegon changed players in the last 2 hands? Thus far, I kind of agree with all of his discard choices. So Starfall with 2 Dora up top. Which for some reason is not animating like the others are, but hey. He shan't end for Aegon here. Yep, correct not to take anything at this stage because it will all cause you problems. It might end up being on an 8-9 pair weight, which I guess isn't the worst thing he could be on, but if he does luck into getting one of those... Well, now the 8s are a bit more problematic, but... Yeah, absolutely. He's just being a bit unfortunate with his draws at this point, but that will happen. And if you're Rishanten, you only need that one lucky draw, so... Yeah, and... I mean, he's had middle tiles and admittedly, the dragon wasn't live. Yeah, 7 for the green would have probably been better because green's a better tile for your final discard. if the situation changes, say somebody reaches or whatever, and you just want to get to Tenpai. But okay, Prospero not going to go for an open thing. I mean, yeah, I guess his open Tanyo isn't confirmed at this point, so. Well, everybody's getting close. I think it should definitely been in the 7-man at this point. Yeah. Is that just the upgrade there? Alright, Starfall finally hits Tenpai. Free-sided 369. So, let's see. Because 7... It's not impossible to play a 7 against him here, but it's definitely difficult. And I don't think I'd necessarily force myself to do it if I were Aegon here. But we're about to find out whether Aegon wants to or not, because he's hit that side of things. Decides to play it safe. Which, again, I can fully understand him not committing to this one, but... There's Vidilin from Mono, going for his finishing hand. Mono does need points. He needed to get out of Starfall's dealer turn before that happened, actually. Okay, Starfall is back in the game. Adila Mangan puts him on top. But what can the 10th down Aegon produce to secure his victory here? Honestly, nothing you can do against this. This is just a really good early reach. It's an well, 9-pin, 6-pin, 8-man. It's a good weight, actually. You wouldn't normally expect it to be this good if it's an early reach. You'd expect something like a Chitoy or a random closed weight, but yeah, thankfully it's not worth a huge amount unless he hits Ura, but still. Momentum is a scary thing at times, or at least it feels that way. Best thing to do is play your normal game as much as you can. Play safety where you can, but just try and get to a hand. No, this is definitely a recurrence here. I mean, to be fair, Prospero also had quite a lot of luck when it was his dealer turn here, so they've all had their shots. This is fine, although I do question that 2 tiles he's got to discard to make... Well, one of those he's got to discard to make this work. But it passed. Still needs a pair. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, if he'd gone the other way, this would have been awesome for him, but hey. And Mono deals in again. Ouch. Regional me 2,000 points. Starfall needs a... with 900 extra points for it, I think a Freehan Sumo would be enough to overtake at this point. But yeah, Starfall very much in this game, and that's another quite fast hand he's got as well. Well, let's see how Aegon responds. Prospero has a couple of Dora in his hand, but it's definitely not in the same starting hand league as Aegon and Starfall at the moment here. No, yeah. You've got to do what you got to do in last place. Shanten. Aegon, you are allowed to have a 5. Ah. I mean, getting rid of the 1 is the obvious thing you do instead here, but... Are you listening to me, sir? Are you? Because I have some words. In fairness, it doesn't matter because it basically fixed itself, but... Oh dear. And I get 9-7, 9-8 discard against that 9 safe tile. Might get the 8 as well. Possible Itsu is not a good hand. It is only a possible hand. Same with Sanchiku. They are both possible. They're not realistic. Usually. Well, Starfall retakes the lead. Alright, so 4th Honba. Realistic consideration, at least. It's never a good idea to cut off the chance of it. Yeah, I agree. But I mean, in fairness, it still needs 3 sequences either way to make happen, but, you know, the Itsu's a bit more specific. No, Mono going for Carnage, as you would expect from last place. And yeah, he's got a reasonable Honitsu shot here, so oh yeah, that makes sense. So Aegon's hand's not bad. Starfall is free Dora, so if he finishes this, Starfall could just run away with this game. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, Itsu is a pin 2 with a bonus, if we're being honest. Or if you're being really, really greedy, Itsu is a Honitsu with an additional bonus. Or an Itsu is a failed attempt at Shurenpoto. Okay, that's good. So Aegon's got 1 Yakuhai available to him here. He's got a call for Tenpai. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That is a little unfortunate. I'm surprised Aegon's backing off from that when he's got a 3 and a 6 he could have got rid of for that burst. But, alright, he's going greed. Why don't I make a Churin? I've seen a Churin! But, yeah, no, I don't, I've had effectively a call Churin before, but that doesn't count. Alright, Riichi. You gotta take this, Aegon, here. 1 North still left. 4-man. 4-man's possible. Goes Dharma. I mean, there's 2 Khans on the board here. I don't see a reason why you don't reach here. Yeah, I feel mono at this point. He's got to go for it, though. There's no reason. Can't reach! Can't reach! Reach! Whatever you do, reach! There we go! Perfect! Now you just gotta wait for somebody else to Khan to cause a draw. Which I think Starfall would do if he could. Well, actually, Starfall might have a half chance of that, actually. He's got the 4th, so. Triplet. Four-Khan abortion. I think, honestly. I did that again. We actually did that earlier in the year. I forced a 4-Khan abortion in a situation where I was actually reasonably chanced to win, but but decided it was too risky with everything else going on. There we go. That's the abortion. He's made the draw for Khan abortion for the second time. Well, that was a thing. We're now into 5th Honba for this dealer turn. Oh, Mono gave that everything. Honestly, with a reach on the board... Yeah, I think so. With a reach on the board that wasn't Mono's, I think going for it was the best plan. Because... Well... I mean, he gave him one shot to try and secure the victory, I guess. He had a pair weight anyway. I don't know how many of his outs were left. Can someone make Starfall stop? Of course we can make Starfall stop Aegon. Once he's got 70,000 points, he will stop. Hanitsu Yakuhai or 2. Yeah. Again, though, he might have just wanted to make it stop. I don't know for sure. I wasn't paying that much attention, to be fair. And the fear with that many Dora and a reach on, maybe he just decided it wasn't worth giving away a Yakuman. But honestly, maybe that was his best shot at getting any real value out of that hand, so we shall see. In the meantime, Aegon is doing okay here. Doing very well here. So, Tanyo, Dora 2. $2-5 against, though. Triplet doesn't really do anything for his hand, but it doesn't do any harm either, so... He can potentially go into the Sanshikyu weight here, or go into a 4-7 pair weight if he needs to. And Prospero deals in. Which... Alright, it's bad news from Aegon's perspective of trying to secure a win himself, but it does give him a little buffer to Prospero for the last couple of hands, so there's less risk of him falling to third. This is a reasonable start. We're into the 6th Honba. There is, unfortunately, no Pa Renshan on Mahjong Soul. There's not even the 2 Han requirement, actually, from memory. No, there wouldn't be. I've never encountered that, and I'm sure I've been above 5 Honba before, so... Well, Starfall has South. This has been a long game. There's another chance for a Yakuman. I don't know, Aegon's starting to build up some dragons. Oh, he got rid of it. Okay, no, ignore that. I mean, every hand is a chance for a Yakuman. What is it? 330,000 to 1 for a Yakuman? 4 times. So... for a perfect starting hand and a draw. Alright, but Aegon no Ishanten. Ishanten, and he's actually not too far behind. 7-7 is not a huge amount by any means. Starfall starts to be worried about dealing into anybody's Mangan, and that would put Aegon ahead. I disagree with that discard Aegon. I disagree with that discard Aegon. I disagree with that discard Aegon. Okay. Moving on. Aegon knows something I don't, and he won't be punished for this in any way, shape, or form. Or even now that, you know, now that Starfall is Tenpai for that 3-6. Well, it is definitely securing him his second place at this point. So 50k. Starfall only needs 20,800 to be the third Mercy Rule winner, effectively. Aegon is giving us plenty of spoiler materials in the chat, and I would ask him to stop. Because it's making things less interesting for us, knowing that we're going to go into Parenchan territory itself. And Starfall has won all of these, I think. There hasn't been a draw at this stage, so this would be a genuine Parenchan. He could be lying, but this is Aegon, and he sounds like he really wants it to stop. Oh, one was 4 count. Of course it was. Of course it was. No, okay, so it's not a Parenchan. He's only got 6 wins. So he still needs 2 more. I mean, Mono's just hit Tenpai on turn 5. I do see all the 4s are down, but it's surely... Well, we'll see how the navigation goes, because that 4... Okay, he discards the 5 rather than the 4 in this position. Which is the only reason he doesn't deal in there, because I think that's a situation where you break up the 4, surely, normally. But obviously thinking Zoradora, so... Even then, you got 1 too many pairs, so... Alright, anyway. I've not been paying much attention to what Aegon's been doing, because Aegon hasn't made any silly plays at this point. Although I would potentially argue that the 6 versus the 4 is a silly play. 4-so versus 6-pin there. But, you know. Aegon can do what he wants. He's gonna get out of this. Somehow. Or he's playing defensive, which he could be. Cutting your only pair was a silly play. Yes, we don't want to hear things. Hearing things is treasonous. Alright, play the 6, you at least have a Tenpai. Even if it's not a... It's a Yakulus Tenpai here, but, you know. Yeah, the game still isn't over. I can see that much, at least. Aegon can still make his comeback. Though, of course... Yeah. There's a disadvantage of calling when you don't have a Yaku Aegon. I mean, you could have made Starfall stop yourself if you had not made that call. So Haite is a Yaku. Yes, it is. Haite is so a Yaku, and he's still in a first 10 position for it, and doesn't have the Haite draw yet, but it is a Yaku. You can definitely change the draw order so he'll get the last draw and then win with it. That's definitely a thing. The game is just bullying him now. Discard the other way. No, I would too. That makes sense. Alright, that puts you into a 2-5. Nice. That decides he wants to stay in the 4-1 weight he's already discarded for. Carnage. Gives up the 3-sided weight that would also be for a 10, but, you know. Yeah, I think the answer there, Aegon, is you could have stopped that. Alright, Mangan it is. So the game will end if Starfall picks up a good 2-Han or a 3-Han hand here. Let's... Oh, well... Yeah. Technically not, because one of these was the 4-Khan abortion draw, but... Yeah, I did not expect this game to go on this long. Just gonna say that now. This has been a slog. Yeah, also, again, Power Renchan isn't really a thing that's on the site anyway, and I would probably consider 8 repeats of Power Renchan anyway, if it actually would have happened, but... Debbie actually did pull off a Power Renchan on Tenho. I know Tenho doesn't support Power Renchan, most sites don't, but she did actually manage one. In one of the very historic early days Tenho videos, but... But I think Starfall, if he wins this, unofficially is the second person to have ever done that I'm aware of. And deserves his Yakuman even if he doesn't get it. Well, Aegon is nearly there himself. Is this... There's a couple of battlefields going on here, but Starfall is Tenpai. Okay, a red 4... which you can only win on the red. Mono has a red in hand, but one's still in the wall. Prosper can call this, and probably will, so he's on a green dragon weight here. So, okay, a couple of people who are ready to... Oh, goes for the 8-pin weight instead, and gets the discard. Yeah, with green already played 8. Makes sense. Well, that's it. No Power Renchan. Starfall fails at the final hurdle. He has nearly 60,000 points. Let's see how the last hand goes. Okay, no spoilers for the final hand. Because we know it's going to be Aegon pulling off a Baiman, Starfall dealing in, and Aegon proving once and for all that he is the 10th Dan that we deserve. If not the 10th Dan we have. After this, I'm going to go into a game with Demo and Lily, who have been waiting a long while for this game to end. So they definitely get into the next one regardless. And then we'll see, we'll have a roll-off for whoever else wants to join us. If anybody still wants to play Mahjong after that massive thing. Could Mono get the double Yakuman? I'll say there's a chance, but I'd also say it's not a good chance. It's fine. Yeah. Starfall, also, commiserations on the narrowest of narrow misses for Power Renchan. Technically speaking, you were, I think, one additional one away, because one of those was a 4-Khan abortion, so you only had 7 wins. But honestly, still a gargantuan effort. And had you pulled off the last win, I would have commissioned it for a Yakuman anyway. I'm fine. Okay, so it is going to be Chiral and myself for the last game, because I always give priority to the new people here. So we'll see how that goes and let things go on. So, Aegon needs any win to stay second. Win-lose rate like the stock market. I wouldn't have said the stock market was that bad, Mono. Yeah. You've been on a a lot of rough form at the moment. Maybe we'll have to go through some analysis and see if we can work out if anything you're doing wrong, or whether you are just... Honestly, a lot of the luck seems to go against you towards the end of the game, but... Blame the wall. You can blame the wall for a lot of things. 7 losses, I don't think you can entirely blame on it, though. But I mean, if you take his performance as an average, it's not too bad. Yep, you know how hard it is to be that lucky? So much harder than trying to win the game by being good. Yeah. Egan, go back and listen to my commentary on a lot of your discards and Kyrill's comments at the same time. Yeah, Kyrill had all of his bad luck and then all of his good luck. And now he's there. So I think on average, Starfall has had an averagely lucked game. And has just played well. A little fortunate with some of the power wrench and sequencing, but still, yeah. Yeah, we're not entirely certain on that one, although I think a lot of your outs are out, and I can totally understand wanting to just try again, but... Yeah, something would have happened had you have not calmed that, though. Meanwhile, Egan still refusing to discard things. Nobody's reached, so I don't know what the 6-pin is about here. So it's played to 2 people. Four-player no 10, after all that. Well, Egan picks up 2nd place, Starfall with a good win, and now I'm going to join this game. So this is currently myself, Demo, Kyrill, Lily. Good luck to all 4 of you. This is going to be the last one I do. If we do have enough room for another table, we will start that off. But let's see how it goes. Kind of was, let's be honest. Okay, well, let's hope this game doesn't quite go on that long, but we'll see. Good luck all. But yeah, TLDR for that game and our analysis. Egan, you seem to improve midway through the game. You are lucky. Your sequencing is questionable. But you are getting better. Anyway, we've got a reasonably fast start here, so we might see what happens. No, I can understand that, sir. Yeah, as we kind of established, it wasn't actually Power Renshan at that point, but yeah, I can understand. Do we take the Atsuke 6 only wait here if it comes off? Possibly. Actually, it's not turning calls off, because we can still call 2 and 3 to just get to Tenpai at this point and just go for the quick, cheap hand. So, 2 so, 3 so.
Riichi.
Alright, demo reach. So 4 for Fortitude. It's a reasonable shot that passes, in truth, but we're going to play the 4 anyway. Alright, Demo picks up the early win. Reach Sumo 3K. Not the end of the world. Last on priority is always a problem, but you know, can't argue with that. Oh, dear. Alright, Dargan. Okay, that's a very good draw, and we have a possible Itsu. Okay, turn 4 Dora discard, because we're not really that interested in that. If we do get an 8, though, we will go for it. And on the basis of Pinfu. Yeah, how's the chance that we just go free pin and go for reach on the 1 man and just go for it for the 4/7? Slightly annoying that I had to give some information up there, but if we draw 8/9, we will replace with these.
Chi.
Ideally free pin for the Pinfu, but so potentially into a pair weight here. North is still alive, but it is my win, so somebody else holding it at this stage, it'd be for an alien or just for a loose one. It's possible it could still go though. Somebody is... Power Enchant seems to be a thing that's going around at the moment. But another free fit K win. At some point we probably do need to stop him because, you know, if we keep sumoing like this, I'll just finish 4th with no effort. Okay, this has some options behind it. Okay, door 2. Do you have to drop a pair at some point, but we'll work it out. Yeah, we'll go with that. I don't agree with that, actually, the 4-7 being better, especially with that discard made, but let's just see. We at least have Tan 2, so...
Tsuma.
Tan 2, 4k. And 2 Honda puts me reasonably in the lead with that. We can go for it. Okay, that's fine. So, buffer to the other players, and we have a slight point increase going in. So, let's see if we can maintain things. Okay, so we know green's going to be relatively safe. We might hold on to that then for a couple of turns while we get rid of other loose things. This stage though we could do with doing something connected to the 9. Yeah, technically that's connected. The loose tile really is there's 6 and the 9 at this stage, and we'll probably get rid of the 1, 2 before we get rid of that. Oh, there's another 9. Honestly though, we got too much disjointed and we're a bit late into the proceedings at this stage, so let's just cut the 9 here. That's a reasonable draw though. If we draw an 8 it's going to be unfortunate, but need to try and keep things going with this one. So that's looking a little like it's going to be a Tanyo. Could be a Hon Chinitsu of some kind, but we'll assume not. Get rid of a 2-1 now. Alright. White and go then. But we're a little slow with this, so we're going to turn calls off. Not interested in calling at this stage. I mean, we are kind of getting there, but yeah. That was always going to be a problem at some point soon. We'll follow up with that. We got west to go as well. Carol had something. South 2 picks up his 4k. And now Chiral on a dealer turn. Okay, good draw. So, probable progression here. Draw hopefully a 5. I mean, we could still possibly see this. Not impossible. Which is largely why we said it was possible. Oh, that's a great draw. Actually, yeah, we'll go with that. So, 4-5. Possible Itsu. 8 man would be fine. 9 pin, 6 pin would be fine.
Riichi.
Early reach on the 4-7 Itsu. Let's go. Reach Itsu Dora 1. On Chiral's dealer turn as well. No Ipatsu, but that should be fine. This, I mean, if we pull this off, this is Riichi Itsu 1. Pinfu 1 as well, actually, come to that. So yeah, Riichi Itsu Pinfu 1. Simo, Uro. Oh, there's options here. Wrong 7. Wrong 4. I think I'm not giving away a lot of information here, and no Manzu are coming out particularly, so that is where they think my weight currently is. Again, hopefully not giving any new information out. Still 6 remaining. We can still do this. And there are more chances on the Itsu side than the other. Sanzo. Oh, I don't like that pause. That means somebody's still going for it. Demo seems to be playing defensive. Lily could be attacking. Kyra will attack if he thinks it's good enough. Wrong 4. 5 more draws. Yeah, nobody's going to play an incidental 4-7 against this board, but 7's close to Midora in any case, but I have already indicated that I'm not too interested in Dora tiles. I mean, if I pick up 3k for a draw and also the dealership next turn, this is an acceptable result for me. But, you know, we always want to get that Itsu. Wrong 4. Come on, 4-pin. Alright, come on. 4-pin. 4-pin, no. Darn it. I got the Haite draw, which would be ridiculous levels of jam if I pulled off the Haite here, but no.
Tenpai.
Reach, Itsu, 4-7. Would have been a double if somebody had done the 4 discard, but hey, we take the lead from it. We have the dealer turn. I can live with what's happened with that. Let's go north and see if we get a free draw. It's not a free draw, of course, but if Kyra called it, I'd basically draw again, so hence why I tend to consider it a free draw. So we might play west next, just on the basis that it is the Dora tile. We will not play west next, on the basis that we drew a pair. Downside is we can't call with it at the moment, but so what do we need? We need to draw a 2. We need to draw 4 or 6. 7's okay. Let's get rid of the 5-man here then. So a couple of closed weights that we need to deal with here. Getting a 2-so would be awesome. 7-so does not help. Drawing a 6 would be useful. Drawing a 2 would be useful. Wrong 2. So depending on options here, if we drew a 2-so now, I'd actually play a 5-pin. That's not a 2-so though. Sanso playing me out there suggests we probably want to break this up, but there's probably not much point in doing it until we get another step of improvement. And we're just not drawing. We draw 1 to 5 man, unfortunately, and that's not been helpful. We just made no progress. Which is unfortunate. Yeah, bear with on this plan, because this plan is not a good plan. This is a bluff plan.
Riichi.
Yep, and that bluff was called. We have nothing. Live red, you say? I didn't have any better options than Isuji. Well, final discard then. Yeah, generally didn't have anything. Still.
Note.
T58. This is acceptable. This is a tight, tippy-tappy, terrible game where the first major blunder is going to cause disaster. 1, 2, 3 Sanchku off of this, I guess. Yeah, I both love and hate games like this. Just gonna say. Junchan. Yeah, this is too forced. I shouldn't be doing this. But we've made a start now, and it's Adora, so... Okay, if we pair up the 9 or actually draw... There's so much wrong with what I'm doing. There is so much wrong with what I'm doing. This is not what I was supposed to have done. But hey, we got on tilt. We've had a long game. Had a long day. We're gonna tilt up and see what happens. Because arguably I should still have kept the thing there and have kept the 3 earlier as well. We'd have had 2, 2, 3, 3, and this would have been fine, I think. Hatsu will be a safe tile later on when inevitably I'm going to need a safe discard or 2. Open Jinshan for no value. Let's go. Open Jinshan for no value. Let's go. I should have kept the green. Absolutely honest with you, I should have kept the green. There's only one pin left. This is abysmal. What the heck am I doing? What am I doing? This is abysmal. This is the actual worst. If I win now, I've got to almost pass the win up because surely I'm not allowed to play this badly.
No.
I mean, yeah, Sanshikyu Chancer won. That was definitely the hand I always had. Please nobody analyze that and just point out everything that went wrong. Please. Okay. Let's try and calm this one down a bit, shall we? South.
Boom.
So 7 and 7 is a problem, but we'll see how that goes. I guess is where we prefer Sun Pin or Sun Man. And I think honestly with that discard I'm probably going to go with the Manzi side of things, but we'll see. Slightly awkward that that happened, but we can work with it.
Chi.
I mean, One So Now paints a good picture. It's a picture I'd almost like people to believe in. But I am taking a lot of risks for a person 8,000 points in the lead. Okay, Sunman for victory then. So there's 3 of those left. Yeah, it was also Vidora, so it was unlikely, but hey. You do what you can. And going in for cheap hands quickly is a strategy that does occasionally work. And we might be doing the same thing again here. Yeah, we'll give up our double south positioning immediately. And see if we can work anything else out here.
Boom.
We can also call for 9 because we've technically got the 5-8 weight here that's going on, so. And of course, if we can pair up anything else, that'll help us. Okay, closed 5 for Tempai. Or Tempai on the closed 5 is also a thing. Okay, I was trying to rush, which is dealer prerogative. Not going to put points on the board. So we have a safe tile if we need it. And that, unfortunately, is going to give Cairo a lead. Not much we could have done in that position. We just didn't have the ability to call anything else, but...
펑. 펑.
So it's going to play a risky Pinzu. It's got to be now. Didn't happen. We can still actually get ourselves to a genuine Honitsu here, so something to think about. Nicely done. So it's going to be an... well, if we get the 7, then this is fine, but... or fine enough that we go for it, but... sure. It also means we could technically call the East if we needed to, and potentially bluff something else. 9-pin out of the hand should be an indicator, though.
Riichi.
Well, that's what happens in a race, I guess. Riichi and Mangan. It's a Hane, which puts Demo into the lead. I've only got a 4K gap to match. I mean, this is a very interesting hand now. Also, this is a horrible, horrible hand for this. Oh, what do we even do? 4-pin. No, I would want to reset here, but it's not going to happen. Ah. Okay, let's regroup, reposition. We need almost nothing in terms of hand value here, which is why Kairo's pushing, because he also needs almost nothing in terms of hand value. I need to pair green or red, and then I'm going to have to play the other one. Whatever happens, I need to be tempo at the end of this to have any shot, so... Yeah, still, it's anybody's game at this point. This has been a close one. What's going to matter is, can I get that red? Because if I get the red paired, then this hand is definitely good enough. If not, I'm going to have to risk it in a really silly way in a little bit. And that's now become much less doable with Chiral doing that. Again, kind of the point, even if Chiral does have one himself that he doesn't want to play. Make things difficult for the current dealer. Yeah, I couldn't help it. I have to go for things, and that is 2k and GG. I didn't lose the position effectively from that one, so I can take it. Yeah, it was always going to be tricky with a red stuck in our hand, but good game. And I go 1 free for the day, which I will generally take. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me. I am probably going to end the stream there. I will catch people up another time, I am sure. Also, yeah, I'm probably going to do some analysis on Mono's game at some point. I can't promise that's going to be anytime soon, but I have made a sticky note, and I will do that. Yeah, unfortunately, I got stuck with a red Dora in my hand, and a hand that was basically nowhere for a long while. I kind of had it built up to 2-away Ipeiko Pinfu, but by then I was being up against it because that red was just suffocating me too much. Yeah, no, GG. Especially after 2 kills as well. Alright, I will catch people later for stuff and things. Till then.